Why did you stop drinking?
I knew that it wasn't serving me. I knew I was turning to it for the wrong reasons. I think it was quite just habitual to turn to. I like myself better. No substance can be the source of that light. So now I'm not trying to be anyone but myself.
Hi everybody, welcome back to On The Mend. It's me, Matt Willis, and this is the podcast where we look back at life's toughest moments to figure out how we move forward. Now, today's guest, I'm so freaking excited to have you on, mate. I'm so very excited. I mean, you need no introduction, but ladies and gentlemen, it's Sam Ryder. So Eurovision, right? So how did that happen? How did you first get approached?
Mate, I was sitting in my my partner's Hyundai Getz in a lay-by, and I got a phone call. And it was just sort of someone very much tentatively on the edge of their seat asking me if I do this thing, but they were scared to tell me what it was because they thought I'd be like, not a chance, see you later, and put the phone down. So they were like, hey man, I've got this real big opportunity coming up, and listen, keep an open mind. And they were sort of, how they sell this thing. Yeah. And I'm like, what is it? Yeah, come on, tell me. And I go, and there'll be so many people watching, and this could be the big time. And I was like, yeah, what is it? And I go, it's Eurovision. And they say that real quick. Yeah. And I was like, well, why don't you tell me, mate? I'm buzzing. Yeah, I'd love to do it. And it was one of those things that everyone was kind of telling me, it's a poison chalice, don't go near it. It'll curse your sort of career, take the wind out of your sails before you've even got lift off. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, man, I don't want to live in a world like that where I'm letting the fear of perception get in the way of something that I know I love. I've been a fan of that thing for years, since I was a kid, and I knew that I could maybe bring something to it. Certainly nothing close to winning or doing sort of well in terms of scoreboard, but I know I could bring something of myself to it and maybe be of some kind of value.
Absolutely, and as a show, right? Being a showman, as a show, there's no bigger platform.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. It's 180 million people watch that thing.
And you got the highest we've had in 24 years.
Yeah, I didn't plan on that, man. I remember making peace, walking around my bedroom, folding up some clothes one morning when I knew I'd made the decision, to do it. And I was thinking, make peace with the fact that probably going to come last. But what's the difference between winning and losing? And is losing really losing?
It's your perception of it, right?
Yeah, I didn't believe that. So I was like, you can lose and lose with, it's like Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story. It's like, it's not flying, but you can still fall with style, sort of thing. And I was like, I can be that guy. I can do something where, I give something my total respect and admiration and feel honoured to be in a position. It doesn't have to reflect in the score sheet. I can just do an amazing job, and I know I'll give it everything I have, and people will see that, and I'll see that, and my friends and my family will see that. So really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what kind of position I am on a board. It means more than that. Similar to, if you're a Formula One fan, Lewis Hamilton doesn't have to have an amazing season to see that guy lives and breathes racing, and it gives himself to everything that he does. Being in touring bands, right, which I know is rough, and that can be a fucking slog, right? Yeah. And not quite getting the kind of the reward that you so rightly deserved in some way, which was the kind of perception of other people going, oh fuck, this guy's awesome. To suddenly being 180 million people seeing that you're fucking awesome, right? Man. I can, from my point of view, that can be either so gratifying, or for me, that can maybe fuck me up. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how you took it. Well, this is why I've been excited to chat with you, man. Yeah. And again, thanks so much for having me on, because I know that we're going to be able to connect on all of this. I guess the ice under the water that no one ever sees, those years of touring in transit vans. I remember going around, and I've told this story before, so if anyone's listening and have heard it before, sorry for the deja vu, but going around these tiny punk clubs in Russia or South America and Europe and the US and all around the UK, and just kind of, you are wrenching any kind of little bit of money out of thin air to try and get somewhere. And I'm so grateful I had those years. I started doing that from 16 years old. I picked up a guitar at 14, finished school, and then started touring to anyone that would listen, whether it was a pub in Kiev or an all-dayer in Bolton. Do you know what I mean? and you keep going, and the years go by, and all your friends that said, I'm going to give it till I'm 25 and then I'll get a real job. 25 comes around really quick, funny enough.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people leave, and I'm like, well, I've got to keep going. I'll give it till 26. And then you keep just leapfrogging these years, and you're living on credit, essentially. Yeah. And then 31 rolls around, and it just, something switches overnight. And I'm so buzzing it happened. So a lot of people always ask me, like, I don't know, why I'm seemingly buzzing and smiling. Wow, how the hell can't I be, man? Do you know what I mean? I made peace with the fact that it probably weren't going to happen. And then overnight, after 14, 15 years of just dreaming and wishing and praying and giving everything, just this little like latch on a door just opened up, and I was like, shit, it's like a horror film. When you're like knocking on this door and it won't open, and then all of a sudden you start to walk away. It's like start a thriller.
I mean, and did you have people in that time? Like, because I've had people in my life who have gone, I don't know if this is going to work. You know, like, have you thought about what else, you know, and stuff like that? Did you have those people?
Oh, mate, my mum and dad were like, it's like they were Mystic Meg. They just knew something was going to happen. They were just like, do not give up. My mum and dad were the best at that. And the good thing is they had no idea about music. They had no connections. They couldn't help in any way. My dad's a carpenter. My mum's a dental assistant.
Yeah.
So like all they could do was help me get a job in carpentry, which was being my dad's apprentice. So I worked with him, learned how to hang doors, just sand, timber, all that sort of stuff. And then when he didn't have enough work, I'd go to work with some of his other friends in the trades, just be a labourer on a building site. But a lot of people, like Mike from Lower Atlantis, who we were just chatting about, done the same thing, like labouring. I remember him singing about it in some of the songs. And I always loved that, because I was like, I'm not the only one kind of doing that. Because when you were just fresh out of college, a lot of people would, I think, judge you as a musician if you did anything that deviated from the plan, because it wasn't punk. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was like, no, you can only do music. Don't even think about getting a day job, because that means you don't believe. But let me tell you, man, all those people that did that ain't playing music now.
Absolutely, because they can keep going with it.
And look at me, I can hang a door.
Yes, man.
Badly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks like a saloon door.
I mean, I ran into you backstage at Carfest. Right, when you fucking smashed it. You know, and you've got a new record out, is that right?
Yeah. Mate, you guys, I was listening to your set there, man. So good. Loved it.
Mate.
So, man.
Thanks, mate.
Amazing.
So, new album's out.
Yeah.
It's something that I didn't know, right, is that this is your first album sober.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, so I didn't know anything about this with you.
Yeah.
I was excited to meet you, and then I did some digging, and I was like, oh, man, we've got a fucking lot to talk about.
Yeah, dude. A lot. So how long have you been sober now?
I've been sober, I've been clean 8 years.
8 years, Jesus.
Yeah.
Mate,
So
congrats, man.
Thanks, mate.
Big.
Thanks, man.
I'm a year, well, last time I drunk was at a wedding in, I want to say April or May last year. So I'm coming up a year and a half.
Yeah, mate, great. Fucking
something like
amazing.
That.
You're out in the woods.
No, yeah, mate, I feel great. I can't, sitting here now chatting here, I can't think that I'd go back to it. I don't want to identify with the fact that I think alcohol was a problem, because I think that would take away from people who I know that where alcohol and substance abuse is a real, like, crippling problem. Yeah. But I did recognise the very kind of early signs of that, like the speed I would drink would be quite worrying. Do you know what I mean? And even now, man, if I'm out and I'm drinking alcohol-free beers, maybe it's just the shape of the bottle in my hand. I'm throwing them back.
I drink Diet Coke alcoholically.
Yeah,
you know,
right? Because you can't. It's just buff. And you wake up and you don't even get you still get a hangover, which is annoying because of all the sugar.
Exactly.
So I wake up and I'm like, mate, I got a hangover and I didn't even drink. You know.
So mate, what was the process like of making a record sober? Did you notice the difference?
Yeah, because you don't have that obvious release valve of being like, mate, I've had a naff day, let's have a night out and just kind of let off some steam. And alcohol's great for kind of, I don't know, gossiping and getting rid of just pent up, I don't know, stories. And it's like water cooler chat in the office.
That's so funny. You're so right. It is really good for that. Yeah. So that is missing, right? So you don't have that release valve.
Well, I found then that I'd go out with people and the people I was working with had that release valve, but then I'd sit at the table and I'd be a bit like, very aware of myself all the time because you're sober.
Yeah.
So you're not always getting the, I guess, the satisfaction of just, it's subconscious satisfaction as well, because you don't realize you're like enjoying letting off steam until you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
So if you wouldn't, so if you don't want to kind of put yourself in that bracket, why did you stop drinking?
I knew that it wasn't serving me.
Right.
Like it wasn't, I knew I was turning to it for the wrong reasons. I knew the speed at which I could go through drinks was concerning.
Yeah.
And it was only just getting faster.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think it was quite like just habitual to turn to. I like myself better sober. I think I feel like my purpose is singing.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel I'm good at. And
mate, you play a fucking mean guitar as well, mate. You play a mean guitar, mate.
Oh, dude, my guitar's a bit ropey.
Shred. You're joking. You can
it's a bit ropey.
Mate, you should hear my fucking bass solos. Believe me. Yeah, mate, you can shred.
I just know that I want to spend as many years just getting better and seeing what I can achieve by just being so focused.
Yeah.
And I've seen what happens if you, I've seen and heard what happens to a vocal and a voice under substance abuse for years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've heard it and it ain't pretty, really.
Yeah, it definitely
And
is.
I even think, man, I think there's discussions to be had about the kind of romanticization of like the golden era of the 70s, 80s, and 90s of vocalists, and maybe how some of that could have been exaggerated, because I just don't believe that a voice can stand up to that amount of so-called substance abuse, whether it's alcohol or drugs. So I think I'd be surprised if some of those stories weren't inflated.
We're seeing it now. You know, some of these vocalists who I don't want to name any names, but who we probably both have admired.
Total legends, right?
Total legends, and you're hearing them now, and you're like, mate, you pay the piper eventually.
Totally,
you know?
man.
I mean, you hear someone like Tom Jones sing, and they haven't lost a fucking ounce of it.
Totally.
You're like, maybe there's a lesson to be
John
learned here.
Farnham as well, when he was just before, even right up to the point where he was sick and sadly passed away, his voice was still there. Like, I can't think of anything more like heartbreaking than to be still like alive, but your spark, that thing that brings you joy, you've given up.
You know that feeling when you wake up and it's like you've slept, but you're still knackered? Well, I used to blame the kids, the late nights, my busy schedule, basically everything but what I was actually sleeping on, my mattress. Turns out that was a problem all along. When you're trying to rebuild yourself as a husband, a dad, a mate, whatever, you learn that good sleep isn't just a luxury, it's what you need to fill those roles. So over at On The Mend, my podcast, we switched to Simbra, hybrid mattress. We chose this mattress as we learned the hybrid layers adapt to your body, keep you cool and give you proper support. All of this helps so much when you're waking up refreshed and you're not dragging yourself through the day. So you can become a better version of yourself through the power of sleep. Simba's won over 100 sleep awards and 6 Which Awards. Best buys, and I get why. You get over a 200-night free trial, a 10-year guarantee, and flexible finance options. So there really isn't a risk, and you'll get to see how amazing you really, really sleep. Honestly, it's amazing how much better life feels when you're well rested. Head to simbasleep.com/on-the-mend and give yourself the rest you deserve.
At the start of the year, a lot of us set intentions to be healthy, right? Now, some of us might be reassessing these goals or realizing we didn't clearly understand our starting point. And that's where Randox Health comes in. On this show, we know how crucial it is to understand where you're at before deciding how to move forward. Your health is no different. That's why I recently used their Everyman Health Assessment. It tests up to 150 health markers like nutrition, hormones, heart, liver, and kidney health, so you'll understand exactly what's happening inside your body. The best part? It's quick and easy. You simply sign up online, visit one of their 40 clinics in the UK and Ireland, and you'll get your results in just 2 hours after your sample reaching their lab. Plus, the option for a follow-up test 6 months later to track your progress. It's smart, it's a proactive way to take control of your health. They also offer an Every Woman health assessment designed specifically for women's health needs. So if you're ready to really understand your health, visit Randox Health today and save 20% on all health checks with the code OTM20.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this season. If you want even more from On The Mend, hit follow wherever you get your podcasts. Right, back to the action. I want to go back to the album really quickly, right? Because I find this fascinating, because I remember when like, I can't even compare. I did a solo album in 2006, I think, but I was off my head when I made that album, right? And it's and you can hear it.
Really?
You know? Yeah, you can really hear it. And it's like, and it's something which I've been battling with a little bit recently because some people really like that record, but I can't even listen to it anymore because it's like a version of me which I've kind of put to one side and I don't like. And I'm kind of scared of in a way. So I can't even listen to that music because it's like, which is really sad in some ways.
Yeah.
I should feel proud of that. And I do feel proud of some of the songwriting we did, but like listening to it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Also, there was a spark to it. There was a bit of like, I don't know, something I was going through at that time, which you can hear and it's kind of captured in that moment in time. Like when I got sober, that was the period after that album being made. And the first time, and I got offered to do another one. And I said no, because I didn't feel that spark.
Yeah.
Like, were you ever worried about losing that from putting down booze?
No, because I trust that no substance can be the source of that light.
I think it's so important for people to hear.
Yeah.
That's
you
so
can't,
important.
the same as you can't really bottle, we'd love to be able to bottle joy, bottle happiness, bottle confidence, bottle inspiration. We can't. So how can we bottle anything that would be the negative of those things? The universe works in every action has a reaction, right?
Yeah.
So just the same as we can't bottle these things that we love, you can't really bottle something that would be to detriment. Would any of that make sense? I don't know if I'm talking absolute shite there.
It makes absolute sense. And I think it's really important to say because a lot of people think that. I remember hearing Lily Allen talk a couple of years ago, and her saying that she was clean and sober now, and she couldn't write.
Yeah.
She just couldn't write anymore. And I was so like sad for her because I was like, fuck man, you've written so many amazing songs. Like that's so sad to hear that. And then I hear this last record that's just blown up.
Yeah. Amazing.
I'm like, so it's just sometimes takes a bit of time to find that new spark.
Yeah.
You wrote about this. It's like I love the streets. Mike Skinner wrote about all this stuff, and suddenly he became rich and famous, and people couldn't relate to him anymore. So you had to find
you've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah,
that's why people find it hard to write.
Yeah,
because this is just my theory, but if you are fighting for your life and fighting for your opportunity, and maybe saying fighting for your life might, to some people listening, seem a bit over-exaggerated, but what I mean for fighting for your life isn't like coming from a health basis or, like trying to survive. I'm talking fighting for your life, fighting for your potential, fighting to be
for your purpose.
Seen and your purpose, right?
Yeah.
So when you're a kid, everyone's kind of, in a way, fighting for their moment. You have this real sense of delusion when you're a kid. And it's amazing delusion because it's like rocket fuel. It takes you, it's powerful enough to take you right into the atmosphere. From then, you're on your own and you need inertia and sort of, I guess, just thrust to move you from that point. But when you're a kid, you get given this kind of big tank of delusion. And you've seen it, probably you remember it when you were a kid, like, I'll make it, I'll be someone. When I've got this like Fender Squire, my first guitar in the mirror playing Brian May's solos, I'll be a rock star one day. Yeah. And it's cute because you're a kid. It's not so cute when you're 31 years old thinking that, but you're allowed it, and society allows you to have those dreams as a kid. No one wants to shoot a kid's dream down, right?
Yeah.
So you're now allowed this kind of big rocket fuel, like, case of delusion to get you out there, and in that sense you are fighting for your life and your purpose and your dream, like Tom Petty, like running down the dream, man. So like that's just what it is to be a kid. And then when you get to a certain age, then you have to, I don't know, come to terms with the fact that confidence now has to be earned, and that delusion has to be earned through results. And that's where it gets quite tough. And what throws people off the path of faith and hope a little bit.
Yeah.
Because,
so what happens when and we hear it so many times, but like, what happens when they do get there and they get the fame, the adoration, the fan base, the money, and then things start to peter off. What's lost in that kind of in that time? In
that initial fight, then depending on your background and how you were raised, the chances are, I mean, I can only speak from experience. My lived experience is that we didn't have much. So you really are fighting to, for me, my fight for my life was fighting to get out of working at the drive-thru at McDonald's. And I got out of there and I got to be a carpenter's apprentice, my dad's apprentice. Sounds like a Jedi. And then it was fight to get off the building site.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I respect that I'm learning cool skills here. Love that I'm working with my dad. My dad believes in me more than anyone else. So if I say to him, I need Thursday off because there's a gig at the White Horse I can play, he's like, yeah, of course, go and play it.
Great.
But those things are great. But still, I was like, I know that I don't belong here because I feel like I've got something and I want to chase it. And he's like, go for it, kid. And so I did. But you have to be kind of uncomfortable to know you want to get out of there. Yeah. So say you get out of there, right? And by the grace of God, thank God I did. But it took to 31 years old of kind of being uncomfortable. And then things became comfortable. All of a sudden, like, I haven't got to look at my bank account when I put petrol in my car. I haven't got to look at or worry about buying food or paying rent and stuff like that. And these are just like the basic needs that are kind of covered. But then you go into kind of like this mad celebrity world of what's covered, and it's crazy. So all of a sudden, how can you even remember what it's like to not feel comfortable around that comfort and then still feel the inspiration and the fire to make it out? Why would you want to make it out of this place you find yourself at now? It's pure comfort. Your needs are met in every direction you look. Yeah. So that's why people struggle. It's not because of the alcohol or the drugs being non-existent in your life anymore if you've given them up. It's because you're not in fight or flight anymore. You
lose the impetus to grow.
And that's what makes you write good music. Yeah. Because it's like, I got to get out.
Yeah. So what drives you now?
But to be honest, man, I think what's driving me now is gratitude, because it took me so long to get to where I thought I was going to get to earlier. Yeah. You know, I'm thankful for that. And I think it's given me character and like a thick skin. So now I'm not trying to be anyone but myself. You know? There's a song, we were just chatting about musical theatre, right? And I went to see Evita, told you just before we started rolling the cameras. And there's a song in Evita, it's called High Flying Adored. And she's chatting about how like she got to where she did so young. And like all of a sudden she's experienced all the luxury and the fine things in life, but she's still got so much life ahead of her. So where does she go from there? Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I still know that I'm 36. I still know that 36 is young, but I'm glad I didn't make it when I was in my late teens, early 20s, because, and I don't mean to say that because I know you did. But I don't mean that to sound.
Oh no, dude, it fucked me up.
No.
Yeah. And I don't know many people that it didn't.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And so when you ask me what are my driving forces now, it has to be something pure, like gratitude, because none of us know how long we're going to be here. Yeah. And we all hopefully, please God, will find the thing that lights us up. And you just want as much time above ground to chase it with kindness and with grace and with gratitude. We should use that time to encourage rather than impress our peers, our friends, our family. But when you're young, every time it's to show, I'll show you. Right? You leave school, be like, I'll show you lot.
That's my driving force.
Totally. And that's why it fucks a lot of people up.
And it wasn't for a long time. Yeah. For a long time, that fire to fucking prove you wrong.
Exactly.
You know, which was powerful. Yeah. But not sustainable.
Powerful at a young age. Again, we're talking about the rocket fuel here. But be careful where you use that rocket fuel. Exactly. Get out of orbit, but then throw it away. Like disconnect the tank and find something pure.
Yeah, find something pure. You need to. You're so right. You're so right. Now, like I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, what drives me? And I was like, it's just to make my kids proud.
Oh, that's
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing that kind of like, and like I make decisions on that now. Which is bizarre, which I never thought I would, because I always made decisions based on what I wanted. Do you know what I mean? Like, so my decision making tool. Do I want it? Yeah, go for it. You know. Now I'm like, it's just going to make my kids feel proud of me. Yeah. You know, like, which is a fucking amazing thing to think of, because unfortunately it means that a lot of the answers are no. Yeah. You know, for those instant validation things, they're like, is this going to make them feel proud in the long term? Probably not. So maybe avoid. Yeah. You know, another thing you said was really interesting, because it's like, I heard someone else talk about it like it's the
okay job problem. It's like if you get something where you're like in a job, where you're like, this is okay, you know, like, is it what you wanted to do? No.
Yeah.
Like, is it awful? Like, do you really want to get out of it? No. But it's okay. So you stay in it.
Yeah.
You know, and eventually that will just eat away at you, I think. You know, like, and I hear a lot of people in that position.
Time will fly.
Time will fly.
Very quickly.
Exactly. You know, and I've done them a few times, you know, but I think.
But it depends on where you're at in life, I suppose, as well. There's some people who are completely fine, and admirably so, actually, fine with doing something work-related or career-related where they understand that that's not their, I guess, the be-all and end-all of their life. There might be other things, might be even owning an allotment and making sure that it's thriving and flourishing.
Ever feel like you're burning the candle at every end? That was me on tour, back-to-back shows, brutal travel, barely any recovery time. And let's face it, I'm not 25 anymore. I mean, my body was like, mate, what are you doing? So before the next leg, I switched things up and started taking Vitals by Heights. Just 2 capsules a day, packed with 20 essential nutrients for brain and body, omega-3s, B vitamins, D3, all the good stuff. I mean, Heights has massively transformed the way I tour. I used to have trouble sleeping, not be able to fall asleep, be wide awake for hours, or fall asleep, wake up in the middle of the night, not be able to get back to sleep, then have to do a whole new day the next day, feeling pretty groggy. You know, Vitals has changed that for me. This isn't some gimmick brand either. Heights is formulated by doctors, backed by science, and trusted by elite performers. There are literally thousands of 5-star reviews to go along with it, right? If you want to simplify your routine and feel your best, head to heights.com/OTM and use the code OTM20 for 20% off your first subscription. Trust me, you'll feel the difference.
Or taking care of pets or their kids or painting, but not to be renowned or famous for that work. It is just the behavior of doing it and to be and to exist in just the infinite now. And I think that even in some ways that is more admirable an attitude of the pursuit than anything else. Just being. And I quite find that enviable in a way sometimes.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm in that place right now, though. I kind of feel like I'm kind of like just kind of, I don't know whether it's age or whatever. I'm just kind of like, it's cool. That's cool, you know. And like, for some reason, things seem to be going better. You know, when I live like that, rather than kind of like, I've spent so much of my life kind of constantly chasing, constantly banging down doors, you know, look at me, I'm enough, you know.
Well,
like
if you spend your life having to bang down doors, the universe is going to give you more doors to bang down.
Exactly.
So if you're in a state of calm, then you'll manifest more calm in your life, and it will seem to just flow. And that's why what I'm saying about someone just existing and being and not chasing down this wild dream isn't to be kind of looked at as, oh, they're not trying to achieve anything. So it is admirable because that is the state of, like, a tree isn't trying to like be the biggest and most like glorious tree in the forest. It's just being, and it's just it's doing its thing,
and it's fucking glorious. I think it's, I mean, I love this chat because I've had a few guests on this podcast where it's very much like there's, not just on this podcast, I see it every fucking day, and it's like this hustle culture, kind of like must kill it, must, you know, it's like, I don't want to. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know whether or not that's sending, I don't want my kids to watch that. No. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you're so right, just being is cool. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you don't have to fucking do this.
Yeah, I think that sort of high octane faux hustle culture has got a lot to answer for. Because I think it's fraudulent. For me, I know my work ethic, and I know what I've put myself through and what I've done to get where I am, and you could, but it's nothing like what that hustle culture prescribes. It's fine to have ambitions and goals, and it's fine also to not have them. And just to want to exist.
Like, I've got kids, right? And I remember being a kid and wanting to do this, like wanting to be a musician, wanting to be a performer. And I didn't get so much encouragement. Right. And I know a lot of people struggle with that. You know, what advice would you give to, someone listening here who has that dream, who has that thing that they want to give, right? Because I have other parents come up to me, right? Because I go to the school gate to pick up my kids, right?
Yeah.
And I had one parent come up to me and go, "Hi, my daughter's in drama class with your daughter, and now she wants to be an actress, and I'm trying to tell her not to do it, and like how to focus on her studies, and like what would you say? Like, could you tell me like how hard the industry is so I can put her off?"
Oh gosh.
And I was like, fucking no.
Yeah.
Like I mean, look. Does she love it?
Yeah.
Well, then let her do it.
Well,
what's the hassle?
We're getting into the territory here of passing down fears, aren't we? Of parents, and parents have to be. I've made peace with the fact. I've been saying I've made peace a lot in this chat. That's quite interesting. But I've made peace with the fact that I won't be a parent, and which is interesting in itself. And a choice that's taken quite a while to come to, but I just think that that's my path. It's not not to be a parent, but so I have to be careful with advice I'd give as someone who isn't a parent to parents, because I can't understand.
Well,
how
maybe
they
it's not
live.
to the parent, maybe it's to the kid.
Yeah. Well, I think that be careful of what fears are imposed on you, because this is your life, and that is completely sacred. And again, we come back to the fact that you're not going to get more than one of them. Certainly, I mean, who knows what happens afterwards? But we're all going to the same place, and it isn't like that pleasant. We all know what happens there. So best kind of, I guess, err on the side of caution and wring the flannel out on this one. And, do you know what I mean? And have the best time. If we come back, bonus, amazing.
Absolutely. But in the meantime, let's fucking do it.
And you can be you can also keep a head on your shoulders a little bit. For example, what I was saying earlier, I started working in construction and stuff like that when all my friends were like, nah, plan A is the only plan. It's kind of like the emergence of the hustle culture, no plan B vibes, you know? And I was always, music is my life force, and it's what I'll chase, like the bloodhound with the rag. I'll be chasing it forever. But to allow myself to chase it forever, I need cash, because the guitar strings ain't cheap, or I need to get to a venue. So I was working on building sites, and that was the start of my sort of friends kind of looking down at me going, oh, he's getting a real job and stuff like that. But I knew it was the right thing to do, because also it was quite fun, kept me fit and healthy, like that age, like outside digging foundations for someone's barn. It's actually quite a laugh. I enjoyed it. I got to listen to music, and never underestimate the power of doing something methodical, like digging a trench outside for a conservatory foundation that helps you write music. It's crazy. Sitting in a studio with a guitar on your lap, good luck. Trying to write a song, like when you're just waiting for it to come. I'd much rather write a whole album if I was building someone's house and just letting these ideas come to me while my mind is in a subconscious kind of still state and my body's doing something.
Every good thing I've ever written has come from not being in the studio.
This. Totally, man.
Every single
100%.
thing.
So really value that is a gift, man. To even to toil a little bit, and that is a privilege. And a skill that you can learn and stuff like that. So that developed into singing at weddings. So I was like, right, I really want to get better at singing. So the best way to do it is to sing even when people aren't booking me to sing my own songs at gigs, which was a lot because no one was interested. So I was like, well, how can I kind of get a captive audience that have to like book me for gigs, weddings, class, everyone gets married. So, so I'll go and sing there. And that means I'm practicing like for 2 hours every night, 3 or 4 times a week.
Great.
I was like, sick. I'll chuck some Whitney and some Aretha in the set. That means pushing my limits and my boundaries and helping me get better. Did that for 8 years. And a lot of my friends that were touring kind of looked at that as, oh, he's checked out. But it wasn't. It was kind of building up and doing more than 10,000 hours, but also being able to pay my bills and being able to buy speakers for a studio and a guitar and a computer to record and like all these very necessary things, so that when the call came essentially from wherever it comes from to take you to the next level, I was like, sick, I'm ready. And I'm not like, I'm not burnt out from being fed up of eating dollar menu, because I'd been there and I'd done that. I'd slept in transit vans for 2 months and showered under faucets in car parks in America on Warped Tour. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's fun at a certain age. But when you're getting into your late 20s, doing that, and all your friends at home are getting married and moving on, and they're not as impressed anymore as when you come home and tell your tour stories. They're like, grow up, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That happens.
Yeah,
and
massively.
You gotta do anything to save that burnout. So long way round of giving this advice. Just ring that flannel, but don't be a martyr about it as well. These are gifts, these are blessings that if you know that music, for example, is the thing that you want to chase, and it's all about intention. You do know it in yourself that you're not lying to yourself. It's not just because you want to be rich or it's good luck for a while. But if it's something that truly is, like, that's what lights my spirit up, you have a responsibility to chase it. The universe is crying out for you to express yourself in that art form.
Like, for me, I really suffered with other people's perception of me for such a long time in my life. And I can't stress this point enough. Like, as soon as you let go of that, it is the most freeing thing in the world. Like, I couldn't give a shit what most people think of me
amazing.
right now. And but it's taken me a long time to get there.
How old are you now, mate?
I'm 42.
42.
You know, and really that happened at 38. You know,
Jesus.
Like, really,
mate,
if I'm honest with myself, that happened at 38 and really only cemented itself at 40. You know, but like I would make decisions. Like, I turned down shit because I was like, it's not cool. But exactly, because I had this trauma of fucking being in a pop band when we were supposed to be Blink-182.
Oh, and you were trying to, like,
you know, I was trying to fight against it. I was like, oh no, exactly. I'm really punk rock. You know, I'm not going to do that. You know, and I've fucking thrown opportunities away. You know, like an idiot. You know, like, because I was
like Natalie says, man, your career ain't got to look like anyone else's.
I've never heard anyone say that before, but nothing could be truer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm so grateful for everything that I've got.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for you coming on, because I think so many people are going to hear this and fucking resonate with it. Sam, you're an absolute legend. On the Mend, we do something called Music to Mend By, right? Which is like, we think of two songs. I'm going to give you two categories, and I just want you to think of a song that pops into your head, right? So the first one is a song that resonates with your inner child.
Resonates with my inner child. I'd say Salisbury Hill, Peter Gabriel.
Wow.
Even though I didn't hear it till I was older, it's like a coming of age thing. I just see this kid on a bike, like, going up some hill in London, feeling like life is stretched out ahead of him. Yeah. Like, grab your things, I've come to take you home.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, got a Stand By Me sort of feeling. I mean, like,
I
not the song, the movie. You know?
Yeah. Great. Nice. Right. And the fucking great song. And the second song is a song that resonates with where you are right now in life.
There's a song that I adore and have almost sort of like been in love with for 8 months straight. It's Bruce Hornsby, The Show Goes On. And
I don't know.
Yeah, it's, mate, if you're, I mean, I think that everyone is a Bruce Hornsby fan, even if they don't know it yet.
James and Charlie love him,
mate,
and they play him all the time.
The way he plays piano, it's almost like he's put pins on the hammers of the piano. It's so glassy and sparkly. But the way he plays, anyone that ever plays piano with me on stage, I always am like, make that Hornsby. Right? Just adding these little flourishes and stuff. But the song is about, well, the show going on, like, and it really helped me. Over the last 2 years, total lost confidence in myself and lost my spark and my spirit and what I thought was my purpose. I was just totally in the dark and at sea. I felt like the only ship on the ocean kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you have no idea where those moments come from or how they have manifested themselves. And that's all right. I think sometimes we can do a lot of damage trying to unpick and theorize and find out, like, life isn't a car bonnet where you just open it up and go, it's because the radiator's gone. Like, sometimes it just happens, and who knows, maybe there are tests that we need to go through for our characters to build, or our consciousness to evolve in certain ways, to live life to an even fuller experience. So I accepted that, but it's hard, man, and I'm still coming out of that at the moment. But that song really helped me, because it's just like, you got to keep plowing on. Do you know what I mean? You got to believe that faith and hope are still there. They might just be in a bit of a fog at the moment. Just got to keep reaching, keep kind of charging on. And that song really helped me.
Dude, thank you so much.
Bless, man.
If you enjoyed today's chat with Sam, please let us know in the comments. We really appreciate hearing from you. Please follow and like or do all that stuff wherever you get your podcasts.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash that shit. Do your thing, please, because it really helps, apparently, and it really helps spread the podcast to loads more people. And that's the message we want to get. We're trying to help people here with the lovely help from this man here. Well, I appreciate you and massively appreciate you coming down here today. It's been fucking amazing.
Total pleasure, man.
And as always, if you've been affected by anything you've heard in today's podcast, there are lots of resources in the show notes to help you out. Please go check them out. Thank you very much.